Anthony, great to meet you. It's Anthony Chaffey from Ballyhoo. I'm going to hand this over to you, Anthony, straight away to introduce us to your business, please.
Hi, I'm Anthony from Ballyhoo. So we are a digital agency based in the Midlands. What that means to anybody not aware, that means we do branding work. We build brands for companies. We do web design, web development, and then we provide digital marketing and promotion of websites and services beyond that, and product support as well, which is a big part of what we do.
Great, fantastic. Around 14 years, you were telling me.
Absolutely, yes. So we've just had our 14th birthday, which is quite exciting. It's a really big milestone for us. I personally, I've been in the industry for over 20 years, so pretty much as long as it has been an industry, from when the web became a sort of marketing tool for businesses, really. So I've been there pretty much from its inception as an industry.
Great. So the dark art of what you do, because lots of people look at it and go, yeah, okay. Tell us a little bit about what makes you stand out from the other people who are doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's an odd industry, and there's very little barrier to entry. There's we always talk about the kids in their bedrooms making websites, and we're often asked if we're competing with these. Also, there are build your own website tools that are available now. That's not the market that we're in, so we do even quite happily direct potential customers to these build your own website tools. If they're a very small business, if they're starting up, they don't necessarily know what they want. They just want a website presence for the sake of it. They just want to tick a box. Then we're happy to recommend tools that they can use and do that for us. So for us, we're looking to work with businesses that are really trying to promote and build their business and grow their business, and they want to use the web as a tool, as a marketing tool, which then becomes a lot more complicated. It's easy to build a website. To build a successful website is a lot more difficult. There's a lot more to learn. There's a lot more to figure out in terms of what you're trying to achieve, who your target audience is, how are you going to convert visits to a website to actual leads and conversions. It gets a lot more complicated. So yeah, it's an interesting industry. We very much positioned ourselves not to be competing with the likes of the kids in their bedrooms and the build your own website tools.
Yeah, great. So that's kind of what you're not competing with. What that makes you different from a bunch of people, the kids in their bedrooms, etc.
Yeah.
What would make you different, would you say, from the guys who are doing a similar kind of offering?
It tends to be our level of sort of after sales support. We've always been very keen to do that. I've got customers that I have been working with since that the 20 years ago when I started in the industry. So I'm very proud to be working with those people. We do like to support these businesses and be with them as they grow, and be part of that growth and actually direct that growth. But it's always been a logical thing for us to do, really support the customers so we can stick with them and grow. When a lot of our competitors don't seem to do that very well. We regularly pick up projects that have gone awry because of a failed relationship with a developer. Developers that have not promised, they've overpromised, under-delivered, or just done the build, made their money, and they move on. That's their business strategy. Our strategy has always been to maintain those long-term relationships. And as technologies change, we're in a brilliant position then to communicate with customers. There's this new technique we can use. There's this new technology we can use. And we can hopefully help them grow and stay up to date rather than make a few quid and move on. It's been a strategy that's worked really well for us, and it's actually surprised us how few of our competitors seem to have the same strategy, actually. But it's that would be a big one for us. It's a surprise to us more than anyone. Seems like a very logical thing to do, but yeah, our customer support has really paid dividends over the years.
Right. Okay, cool. That makes it pretty clear. Thank you. So around 14 years, just had the birthday.
Absolutely.
lot to reflect on, but also a lot of future ahead. So where's the business going? What's the plan?
So yeah, we've been growing every year for those 14 years. We're still a small, very compact, efficient team. So really, it's all about efficiencies for us. We're not necessarily looking to exponentially grow the business, but we are constantly looking at ways to improve efficiencies. So that's often looking at new tools that we can use, things that we can adapt. AI is a massive deal for us at the moment. We're seriously concentrating on that. So we have junior developers that are actually able to use tools that will really help them learn quickly and develop things a lot more lot quicker than they traditionally would. Things like copywriting, content generation, using AI to help speed things up there. There's a lot of challenges involved with doing that and doing it properly and doing it right. But there's some huge opportunities, I think, to adapt. Being a small team and being a highly mobile team, we can quite quickly adapt and use these new technologies. So that's our main focus at the moment. We can see a significant growth in the business without actually expanding the team, but adopting some of these new technologies that are quite exciting. It's genuinely interesting to us.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. You move in a fairly fast-paced, changing world. Well, we all do, but yours might be a little bit faster, I guess. So what would you say the biggest learning has been for you as a business owner in the past 14 years?
Yeah, absolutely. For me, I think it's come down to building this core team that we have here. So it's taken a long time for me to really understand myself and understand what I'm good at and what I'm not necessarily good at. I've always been okay at everything and not necessarily very good at any one thing. So what I've done is, as over the years, built a team of sort of niche specialists. So I have a very, very talented developer who understands the technologies. I have a very talented graphic designer who understands current trends in UI and UX. I have a very talented marketing manager who understands how to promote a business and the technologies and tools that can be used there. So just building that team that sort of complement my skill set, where I might fall down. I'm quite happy to defer decisions to staff members that I know are experienced and more knowledgeable than me in certain areas. So I don't try and do it all. Try and leave it to the experts, and we have plenty of those here already.
Good. Yeah, that is a good learning. It's amazing, actually, isn't it? I mean, I speak to a lot of people about this, and some people find it quite difficult to put stuff down, even though they're not particularly strong at it, which is interesting.
It's really tough. Yeah, it's really tough. I mean, particularly in terms of development, I started as a developer. I come from a very technical background with a degree in computer science. I'm a decent developer. But it was once we got busy and we needed more support in that area, I bring in developers and I think, Christ, they're good. They are much better than me. I'm able to have conversations with them and discuss the technology and the approaches that we should be using. But yeah, sometimes they blow me away with what they actually produce, and I know that I would never have come to that sort of solution. So yeah, it's interesting, but it is difficult. It's difficult to accept sometimes, but it's effective.
Yeah, no doubt. What would you say the biggest challenge has been then?
Yeah, one thing I always say is learning to not let perfect get in the way of good. I am a perfectionist. I want everything to be perfect, but I think often that has been a bit of a barrier. So learning to maybe produce things that are very good, but they're not perfect, but get them out into the industry, get them out and see how they perform, and be in a position to measure and adjust to feedback. That's the biggest one for me. Again, it's difficult. It's like I said, it's difficult to put things down sometimes. You want them get them to be absolutely perfect, and it has done us well over the years by that perfectionist approach. but yeah, there is you've got to learn to find the right level, at which point you can get something to market, get it out there and learn from feedback rather than continually making assumptions and poring over data, trying to figure something out that you can potentially learn much quicker by getting something to market and measuring.
Great. Okay. So if you were having a conversation with your 18-year-old self, with the knowledge you have now, and that 18-year-old self was prepared to accept it, we should caveat that, shouldn't we?
Yeah, that's the trouble. Yeah.
What would you say?
Um,
What would you do differently if you had your time again with the knowledge you've got now?
yeah, I think that does come back to my last answer, really. It's about failing fast. Again, this applies to not just me, but to our customers as well. We've worked with startup businesses that they spend a lot of time deliberating, maybe even speaking to potential customers and trying to learn and build the perfect product. They then listen to feedback before something is launched, and they'll have one person say, "Oh, I'd be interested in that if it did this," and then they take that as an absolute essential feature of functionality they need to build. For me, I think, yeah, I don't really like the phrase "failing fast." Feels scary to me. But in reality, getting something to market, getting something out there quickly, and learning from feedback is really essential. It can often be quicker to produce a prototype, get it out to market, and learn from the feedback. It can be quicker to do that whole process than deliberate for many months over trying to work out the best approach, and you may get it wrong anyway. In fact, you probably will get it wrong anyway. So get it out there, do your best. Obviously, we have to make assumptions, but we can do your best and learn as much as you can. But yeah, fail fast.
Cool. Yep, good. And what's the one piece of advice you'd give to other business owners?
That's it really. Yeah, again, we work with a lot of startup businesses. We work with businesses, in all sorts of industries. And we work best with businesses where we do work with them from day one. So they have an idea, and we can be there to guide them in terms of that brand image that they may need to develop, in terms of the technical aspects and the technical tools they're going to have to build, and what is their strategy going to be to get to market with our niche experience in digital. So that's it really. Get out there, fail fast. Do your best. If you've got an idea, we've seen businesses that have failed to be first to market because they've taken so long over deliberating and trying to find the perfect solution. And it's been painful to watch from the sidelines and trying to guide them towards, we talk about the MVP, the minimum viable product, for a lot of projects. And it's very difficult, from our perspective, working with a client, to convince them that your idea is good. Just think about what needs to be the first phase of that development and get it out there. It's very difficult when they have such ambitions and such big ideas. They want it all. They want it all out there. They want to do it all. Scale it back and think about that minimum viable product and get that done to a good standard. Hopefully with a team like us that will have the experience to guide you. But yeah, get something out there and see how it performs and learn from it.
Cool. Really good insight. Thank you. So, lots of great stuff around your business, lots of great stuff around what you do. Obviously, your details are there. But in terms of next steps, if what you've said today has resonated with people and they want to get in touch, what would the next steps be, Anthony?
So yeah, our approach is it's a very consultative approach, really. Everything we do is bespoke and it's tailored to how a customer operates, what they're doing, what industry they are in. So really, we're very open to having early dialogue. As I said, we work with business right from the outset. Yeah, free, no obligation conversations is how we do things. We're very honest and open, and that does play out in our customer support and ongoing relationships. So more than happy to talk to anybody, and we will happily direct them to tools and technologies that may not be for us, if that's the best thing that we see for anybody we speak to, really. But if we see an opportunity where we can really help, then we can continue the conversation. But I'm more than happy to talk to anybody, in any industry, any business size, and happy to advise and use my knowledge as much as you can.
Fab. Great, thank you.
No problem.
Great to meet you today.
Thank you.
Wish
You too.
a very successful next 14 years and however long after that.
Absolutely. Thank you.
There we go. And thanks for your insights about business and all your tips and tricks, if you like.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks, Anthony. Take care.
Cheers.